So still staying in Africa, let's talk about the election in Zimbabwe. 3 weeks to go. That one is an intense one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tricky situation, brother. Tricky one, that one.
All of us have got our strong opinions about that. But what I'll say, I think it is now a pivotal election for a generation for Zimbabwe. People need to make a proper decision. Whether you support the ruling party, whether you support the opposition, that's your choice. That's your choice in the ballot box. But I think people need to make the right choice for the benefit of the country. So, what are your thoughts? As I said, we are politically agnostic. We won't tell you which party to vote for, which party to support. We're trying to bring to our listeners, we're trying to engage and bring some of the major players in the lead up to the election. They'll come and talk to us, have a chat about their thoughts of the country, what their manifesto is, what's the vision of the country. But one thing I'll raise is with the main opposition party, I think there should be room for criticism, and people shouldn't take that criticism as a slight. I think that's what we've seen, that we're trying to centralize everything on one individual. They are, as the opposition party. Looking at ZANU, the ruling party, they've had rallies where they've brought in former people, whether it's all political, that's their choice, but it's embodying a lot of people in the cause. Again, with the opposition, they've just done it's looking at as a one-man show, a one-man band, but I believe maybe in the last 3 weeks they can try be more inclusive and bring other people in their leadership team to show up and show out their, collective skills, collective strategies, collective vision for the future of the country, so that people can make the choice, whether they are pro-ruling party or pro-opposition. It's people's choice at the end of the day, but everyone should show their best foot forward. What do you say, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know if I should say disappointed but I feel like the opposition hasn't really done a good job when it comes to, if we look at it from different facets. First and foremost, they haven't been unified. We all know what ZANU-PF is capable of doing. The least thing that you could want to do is to unify any sort of support that you can get to oppose what they're trying to do. So they've failed to do that. There's been a lot of factionalism, a lot of breakaway parties and things like that, and that's not a very good thing, because that divides the electorate. And the other thing is, for the main opposition, he hasn't really had the best narrative when it comes to the message. They don't even have a manifesto. They're just saying, guys, support us because we're the popular guys. They don't even have a manifesto that would then speak about what the party's intentions are, or what, that's for me, that's
even the issue of the selection process. And selection process was centralized in one location. And look at what the decision which was made by the courts in Bulawayo, where candidates are not allowed to be eligible for the election.
Exactly.
So we're being critical. Obviously, we'll come to our own criticism of the ruling party shortly with one particular topic. But as I'm saying, is that the opposition had to be open to criticism. I see them with one of a particular political correspondent or political vocalist in Hopewell. He criticizes both sides, but when he criticizes the opposition, he's hammered. As long, of course, he's hammered when he criticizes the ruling party. But I think both parties should be open to criticism. Criticism will help both parties improve the country. What do you say?
Yeah,
they don't seem to look at it that way. But
it's bad politics. Well, it's bad politics to say if someone criticizes you, you come for their head. So where is the dialogue? Where is the growth? because criticism brings in that growth that we need as a country. Because if you look at it this way, even opposition, even before they can assume power, they need to bring developments to the country in terms of unifying both the opposition and the ruling supporters. That's their job, to bring people together and also win the hearts of those who are on the fence and those who are also of the ruling party. And the ruling party's job is also to win the opposition's hearts. So with the opposition, as I stand, I would say for how many years have they been the opposition, and is there any development that they have to show for? And for the ruling party, I think during the pre-recording, Captain Pew, you were talking about the roads and the other developments. Is there, proper development to warrant their re-election?
Well, some people would argue that they are doing a few things. Obviously, the airport, like you mentioned, the roads, the dams. The question is it enough, considering the wealth that Zimbabwe has and the amount of business that they've attracted? Is the development enough? Because obviously, considering that Zimbabwe is under sanctions and all these things, people will argue that these guys are trying to do the best that they can. But there are always going to be questions, because we have poor health delivery, we have poor sewer systems, we have poor water situation. There's a lot of things that we can point out that have not been dealt with, but we see the money is being diverted to other things that you would think are not very important, but they would choose to do that first rather than fix dire situations that are affecting the normal person on the streets.
Yeah, for example, I think it's a boxing reference. We started with boxing in the show. Floyd Mayweather was recently in the country. Good on him. He's popular. He's been successful. 50-0. Taking punches. All the wealth and all the success to him, to Floyd Mayweather. But that trip, according to sources and reports, whether it's social media, if it's true, that $1 million was spent just for him to be in the country for, between 48 hours and 72 hours. And went to do a boxing show. I don't believe there was a building which was even commissioned to say we're going to build a Floyd Mayweather boxing for that particular area or location in Mavuku. So those are the type of things where it was mainly people from the ruling party who brought them there. Would not that suppose
it through the public funds, or is it public funds or private funds?
Whether it's private funds, you're saying you're trying to be voted as a member of the ruling party. You've used your private funds. Why don't you use your private funds? Okay, people can do whatever they want with their money. We don't tell you what to do with your money. But with all consciousness, some of those people don't have proper running water, don't have proper sewage systems. And you bring an individual to do a boxing show without even building a building for the future.
A showcase.
So that's the criticism. And also, Joe, that's one point. Joe, you alluded to say the opposition have done projects. Some of the opposition will say it's not conducive for us to do any projects because we'll be targeted. So again, it's a catch-22.
Are there any cases of them being targeted for building a chicken project for a village?
At the moment I can't bring I can't bring anecdotal evidence, but they will say that we don't have the opportunity to freely express ourselves as the opposition.
Do you think that is merit though? Are there any? Because
I doubt. Because if you bring water to us as a village, even if we are ruling a party or a different party, who appreciate the water because that's the primary or basic hierarchy of need for a society. So you have to go or transcend beyond politics to look and develop the communities, because if you come dangling, the dollar meal or maize meal or rice or food or beer during campaigns, you're not doing that community a favor.
You are speaking in an ideal political scenario. They will say the political scenario is not ideal for you to bring a sustainable project of bringing clean water or having a chicken project, as you are saying. The opposition may say it's not an ideal environment for that. How do you counter that argument if they tell you it's not an environment like that?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a grainy area, because I think I've heard that.
My argument is.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, my argument was give it a crack and show us proof that it's not working. Come and do it, because they do have funds that they are accessing through either donors or well-wishers. They do have funds, especially the opposition parties. They do also get funds through the government system, the opposition parties. And those funds, we don't know where the funds are going.
Yeah. Even when you look at the motorcade itself, not to say that his motorcade has to be flashy, but it seems like his motorcade is more well-wishers and donor vehicles that are being used. And when I say donor vehicles, I'm not talking about donor organizations. I'm talking about from well-wishers. People who just say, take my 4x4 or do this or do this. You guys go and have a rally. They don't seem to have their own sort of, and yes, and I know for a fact that their building was taken away by was it Monzora, one of the other opposition guys. Not to get into all of that, but I know there've been a few things that have happened to them, but still, I think we need. If you're going to be opposition, you need to step up. You need to show people what you're willing to do. You need to show people what you say you'll be able to do. You need to be able to at least show it in the lowest possible form. So like Joe is saying, let's get the borehole in the way. Is it Mberengwa? Is it Bikita or whatever? Let's get a borehole running. And let's show people that, you know what, we have your true interest at heart. Exactly. So I don't know, but that being said as well, like we said, yes, for the ruling party, yes, that money that brought Mayweather, yes, it's not that a lot of people argue that's private funds. Yes, it's private funds, but how about if we would have used it better? If we would have said to Lord Floyd Mayweather, come down, mate, we built a gymnasium or whatever you call it. We want to help a youth to do boxing here. Pick out 100 or whatever, under whatever criteria you do. Pick out 100 youth and say, listen, guys, Floyd Mayweather is here. Let's learn how to box. This is how you do it. If there are already guys that are already doing that, give them a one-on-one with him. Let him show them how it's done. That way, you can say you've put seeds in the ground in regards to boxing and in regards to helping the youth run away from, we all know what's happening right now, a lot of drug abuse happening but if you give them something that's going to motivate them and say, listen, maybe after all, I have I have
After school, I go to the gym, to the
exactly.
gym. It's something where they've got clean water, clean facilities,
Exactly.
state of the art. It starts to improve. It's one project, as Joe is saying. It's one investment which changes.
Exactly.
But when you see said individuals coming with packets of mealie meal, coming with packets of whatever, cooking oil, people need that stuff because they don't have it.
Yeah,
but when it's finished, what's going to happen? After you've gone to the shitter, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You're back to square one.
Yeah, it seems it's just something that's superficial. They do superficial things to get results, and once they get results, they turn their backs and they walk away.
So to our listeners, I said we're endeavoring to bring some of the political players for the Zim election to come and have a chat with us. They're open. It's a free forum. We have a chat. We give them our opinions. As I said when we started, it's all our unfiltered opinions from the opposition, from the ruling party. Some more independent spokespeople like your hopefuls. I would love them to come on the show and have a chat with us and give us their opinion to the lead up to the election. So you can follow us again on YouTube. Follow us on the Podbean app. Very soon we'll be doing some live audience shows and we can have a chat. Anything else you want to add, gentlemen, in terms of the African geopolitics? Did you see the Julius Malema rally before we go into the main topic, which people are really here for? Well, let's talk about the Julius Malema rally. What do you think? FNB Stadium, man, that was jam-packed.
Wow, that was wow. Man, there's a lot of things spinning out of that. Obviously, there's a lot, the support that he has made, that's huge. And then, of course, Elon Musk also coming in with a few comments. They sang that song. I don't know what the name of the song is, but I think it's a song that was mostly sang during it's a
apartheid or
yeah. And then I think a part of it goes on to say kill the boer or whatever it says, kill the farmer, and a lot of people have just jumped onto that, and they're not happy with him having done that, including Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk has gone on to comment that I think it's about time I met this Julius Malema guy. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, look, it was their 10-year anniversary when it started 10 years ago. I think people didn't think it would get this far. He puts pressure on the ANC, even though, they're still growing. But I think he's appealing to the masses now of the younger generation. Give it another 5 years. If he stays strong, stays the course, it may be neck and neck with the ANC. Because, look, some of the ruling parties, the older generation are winning. One of the younger generation like this socialist type of, everyone deserves everything. You don't need to work hard for what you need to do. So, yeah, let's watch this space a bit. Yeah, let's watch this space with Malema and EFF. But as I said, it was an interesting rally to watch.
I'm really proud of Malema.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I'm really proud of where he came from because, like I was he's telling Tina during the pre-production, to say Malema, when he started, he could not even speak properly.
Yeah.
Now, he's taken himself onto the political platform and he is getting better by day.
Yeah, definitely.
ANC, watch out.
But just coming back to the Zim situation, what someone like Malema has done shows you what you can do with the right sort of mentorship, political mentorship, and what have you. I don't think the Zim opposition has that mentorship. If they do, I don't think they're actually thinking big enough in relation to what ZANU-PF is, because ZANU-PF they know what they're doing when it comes to trying to crush the opposition. They know what they're doing. So what is that opposition trying to do? Yeah, and so I don't think they're thinking well enough. The people who are responsible for creating strategy for them, I don't think they're thinking well enough. But like I said, let's look at what Malema has done. 10 years, and look at what he has done. The representation that he now has in parliament, these are the results of 10 years, and next year probably there's a possibility that he's going to get more people in parliament. So it's crazy.
Yeah, let's watch this space again. Let's watch this space for EFF. Let's watch the space with the Niger situation, which is always constantly changing. Changes are happening. And also, let's watch the space for the Zimbabwe election.